We're here today at Mary Bernard's house, the late Mary Bernard, who is an avid collector, as you can well see. And we are having an estate sale handled by Lubbock's largest liquidator of estate sales, Mr. Eddie Maddox, with his company, Access to the Past. Today he has his hands full because this is the second largest estate sale that Eddie's ever done. And Mary was quite an avid collector. So whenever we go into the next room, you can see what we're talking about. Eddie, how are you?
Good. How are you, Ken?
Good.
Good to see you.
I have a couple of questions I'd like to ask you about estate sales. I don't know if people realize what it takes, what it entails to put one on. First off, how long have you been doing estate sales?
Roughly 12 years.
12 years. Because I was asking somebody about how you price all this stuff, and they said Eddie's a pro. So
it's basically a preparation from start to finish. The customer gives us the key to the house and they walk away. And we come in and stage everything, prepare it wall to wall. As you can see by the tables we have set up, we drape everything with beautiful tablecloths. We price everything. If it's dirty, we clean it. We move things to the appropriate rooms where they're supposed to be. Everything is researched completely so we don't make any mistakes and price it too high or too low. And that way we maximize the return for the estate.
So this is basically the whole process of an estate sale.
Absolutely.
Well, what excites you about an estate sale? This one has got so much stuff that this would be very exciting.
This is one of the most exciting ones. In fact, the second largest one I have done. And they all excite me, but what really excites me about this particular sale is that I cut my teeth in the antique business on many of the same types of items that Mary had in her home. And for many years I had a brick and mortar antique business here in town locally, and it's been a while since I've been able to handle such beautiful items like this.
Well, she certainly does have a lot of it, and a array of different things. So.
Absolutely. Every category you can think of, she collected it.
Well, I know this is a large estate sale, but what's the most amazing estate sale that you've ever done?
The most amazing estate sale I ever did was about 3 times this size, actually. And what I tell people, to put it in perspective, was I started in short pants when I started preparing it, and by the time it was over, I was wearing a very heavy mouton coat.
That was a big one. That was a very big one. What's the hardest part, in your opinion, of the estate sale business, of this business?
You know, without question, the hardest part is the staging. When you have a house that is really in disarray after the heirs have gone through it, when somebody was an avid collector and you have this much merchandise, it's finding a place to go with everything. And we try to be efficient, not to move things 2 or 3 times. However, just to get the tables set up and draped with the cloths and get the stuff organized and where everything belongs can be one of the biggest challenges of the business.
Well, I have a question. Are dealing with some of the family members, is it difficult sometimes, or does it go pretty smooth?
Actually, it goes pretty smooth. They have no clue what to do. They know that everything needs to go away. It needs to find a new home and needs to be recycled. And they're grateful to have somebody that really knows how to make that happen.
A professional like yourself.
Thank you.
How big is your company, and how many estate sales do you think you conduct every year?
I have a staff that works with me on a regular basis of between 4 and 6, and sometimes I have up to 8 people. For a large sale, I will have additional people to come in, like to floor walk and look like they're customers for security reasons. I do probably, this year I've averaged about 2 estate sales a month, which says I've had like 11 days off this year.
Yeah, especially on one like this. This was, somebody said, 2 weeks to price all this stuff. So.
4 of us, 2 weeks to just price it in.
Oh, that's a lot. Is there a funny story that you can relate about an estate sale that you've had, or anything humorous?
Oh, you know, yes. We had a sale a few months back for a couple that were downsizing, and we had a little puzzle box. A puzzle box is like a wooden box where all of the pieces go into each other, and you have to know exactly how to extract each piece individually to get into the box. We gave up because we couldn't get into it, but we kept hearing something rattling in it. And I just sold it to one of the customers, and I said, I hope it's the Hope Diamond. She came back to the next sale I conducted, and she said, Eddie, you're not going to believe what was in that box. And I said, it was a big, expensive ring, right? And she said, well, it was a ring, and she held it out, and it was a ring of a hand making an obscene gesture.
Oh my goodness.
So we never know what we're going to run across.
Yeah, it's like a box of chocolates. Well, Eddie, tell us a little bit here about your team. I see you've got a good-looking group here, and I know you don't spell team with an I, so...
No, and the team is all about teamwork, and I have to say that I've probably got the very best team in the industry. We have Carol here, who's one of my head cashiers when she needs to be. In fact, I should say everybody can be a head cashier. We all rotate job responsibilities. Every person on the team has got to be able to do maid work, cashier work, carrying out, handling, pricing, the whole 9 yards. So really, nobody has any different responsibilities. Next is Pam DeBellis, and she's been with me for many years. And Jean Crittenden, who we call the floor walker. She goes around and just checks and neatens up and tidies up and helps people generally with questions. We have Ramona, who doesn't work with me all that often until I have a really large sale, and her specialty is showing jewelry and watching over the jewelry showcases. And last but not least, my right-hand man, Matt Barner. And Matt came to me recently out of the blue. It was kind of a fluke how we obtained him, but I was doing a sale that was very large, and the people that I told them I was going to have to try to find some extra help, and they were friends with Matt and said, I suggest him, and man, I couldn't do without him now. Couldn't do without any of them.
Well, that's great. They look like they're ready to go on this thing. You need to pan this room and see the many items that Eddie and his crew have got to sell for this family. So thank you very much, Eddie.
Thank you, Kim.
Could I interrupt you for a minute, ma'am? My name's Tim McPherson.
Nice to meet
And
you.
you're Geneva?
Geneva Durham.
Why do you come to estate sales, if I can ask you?
Well, I just collect everything. I collect jewelry. I love costume jewelry. And I'm just a collector of multiple of everything.
Like this woman?
Yes, like this lady here. My house could probably look like this. And Eddie always has the finest estate sales.
How long have you been coming to estate sales?
Probably for I'd say about 20-something years.
20 years, wow. Well, this certainly is a big one. I've never seen
Yes.
one this big. So you've got a lot of stuff to look through.
Yes,
so enjoy.
Well, thank you.
Isn't that cool? Glad you came with your brother.
Thank you.
Well,
At 50.
how do you do? Nice to meet you.
Good luck, Eddie. We're all counting on you.